Hello everybody and welcome. This is a review of the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros. So far we have 2 books out. It's The Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. There will be a total of 5 books in the series, and the title of the 3rd book hasn't been announced just yet, so we don't know the timelines of when the books are going to be published, but these 2 books were published in 2023, just 7 months apart. Rebecca Yarros said that it took her 2.5 months to write each book. She's been plotting Fourth Wing for a little bit longer, but the writing process did take just 2.5 months. The Fourth Wing had a huge success, and by the time Iron Flame was announced, which with the release date of November 7th, people were just pre-ordering books, and it was just kind of like a lot of craziness going on. There was the hiking situation. The bookstores were out of copies. I saw that it was sold just within minutes. And also the Red Tower, the publisher of the series, they announced the mystery title that would be released on November 7th. So mystery title is pretty much you don't know anything about who is the writer of the book or the name of the book. They just say that there will be a book released on the same day as Iron Flame, and people were buying it and pre-ordering it, hoping that the book will be a special edition to the Iron Flame, which it was. So it was a gamble, but it was a lucky gamble by the publisher and by Rebecca Yarros. The hacking situation happened at Anderson bookstore. They were selling tickets for meet and greet the author. The meet and greet was supposed to happen on November 11th, and the bookstore was using a third-party ticket seller who got hacked. We still don't know what hacker wanted, and as far as we know, no personal information was stolen from the people who were trying to purchase the tickets. It kind of like adds up to all the hype about the books. The other thing to mention about Iron Flame is that the first edition publishing had a couple hiccups. People had missing chapters, there were text printed upside down, there were a bunch of errors in the text. One person received the book, opened it, and the book started from chapter 13. I myself have a first edition of the book, and I have just couple kind of like the text is just like this. So, and it's not just one page, there are several pages like this. I can't find another one, but there is more. So if you buying the copy from someone else, maybe you should check out the copy is actually a good copy to buy. So now about the series. First of all, Rebecca Yarros, her main genre is romance. Actually, her really first book is fantasy, but the book was published, but it didn't sell so well. So she switched to romance, and now she's trying herself back into fantasy genre. And as we can see, the books are very successful. So the main plot of the story is just about humans who got picked by the dragons, and when the dragon pick a human, they create this special connection that allows a person to get a special power, and the power is just unique and based on the unique connection between the person and the dragon. And so there's the people who didn't get picked by the dragons because of a crazy competition, and there are just like not a lot of dragons who actually want to be connected to human, so they're power hungry and they would do just anything to get a hold of the power. So the main character is Violet. She was trained for something else, but circumstances had changed, and now she has to fight for a spot at the war college to be a dragon rider. So she's not cut for that. She's very petite, and she also has a chronic illness. Her bones are brittle. She's easily hurt. Interesting fact about the book is that Rebecca Yarros has the same chronic disease as Violet, and she was basing Violet's experiences on her own. I appreciated that the main character had this uniqueness to her, and I thought it's a nice touch. The first book, Fourth Wing, is about Violet getting into war college and getting selected by the dragon. The time span is just 1 year, so it's just her first year in War College. I should also mention that the series are romantasy, so it's romance and fantasy combined. So we get to see Violet and her relationships with the person that she falls in love. The first book is just the beginning of their relationships. And now the first book ends with a kind of like a cliffhanger. There's this big reveal that kind of like throws Violet's life upside down. And the second book, Iron Flame, it starts it kind of just continues from the first part, and it starts with Violet finding out the truth and her dealing with that. The book follows Violet and 6 months of her life, and it follows the kind of like this big reveal and how Violet deals with that. She is very frustrated and she cannot trust anyone. She doesn't know who to trust. She doesn't even trust herself. And I noticed a lot of reviews, a lot of people in their reviews said that they really liked Violet in the first book and they were disappointed with her in the second book. I think it was done on purpose, just because Violet is not the same person as she is in the first book. She changed and she just dealing with a lot of things. And so the love story continues throughout this book as well. However, they also have some difficulties, and I also noticed that there are a lot of reviewers frustrated about the love story there, but I think it's done on purpose. One thing I want to mention about the series is that in one of the interviews, Rebecca Yarros was asked if the love story will continue throughout the 5 books, and is Violet and her loved one is gonna be together for the remainder of the series. And Rebecca said that she believes in happy ending, but she reminded readers that there is only one main character in the series, and it's Violet. So we don't know. Iron Flame also has a pretty strong ending. I can see how people want to read more and more about the series. However, I noticed that the ending of this book is very, very similar to the old fantasy series that was written quite a few years ago. However, the ending is just the same, in my opinion, as the other series, and it kind of was a little bit of a disappointment. However, I want to see how Rebecca Yarros spins this ending, and maybe she'll put a fresh thought into this big reveal in the second book. That's all I have on the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros. Thank you so much for watching.